Hello and welcome back to Metaphor ReFantazio. We have found an inn to stay for right before the exhibition of the brave, but before we go into that we got to speak to people and we got a memorandum. In fact, we got two memorandums last time. Katharina Grant, a candidate in the tournament for the throne, a Parapes bounty hunter of unrivaled skill. Though some scoff and consider her promise to place bounties on the rich absurd, she has garnered modest support. Most of that support comes from the poor people of her tribe, but there's also a contingency who've come to support her after seeing she was a youthful beauty. Well, alright, whatever gets her in charge. And then the gold beetle. A special insect covered in magla. Glows with a golden hue, it absorbs ambient magla in its habitats, and evidence suggests that minute differences in their environments translate to differences in their biology. Though they give up a golden light, it fades quickly upon death, so they have no monetary value to the layman. However, there is apparently one eccentric in the world who collects them with a passion. Okay, looking for things in here that we can click on as well. Can I leave? No. Okay. Hello.
Yeesh.
The other candidates' speeches seemed practically identical. I'd not trust those types of the country myself. Is there no one who can truly rival Louise or Forden? Hello. Brilhaven is positively rife with tourists. I myself have long awaited the delicacies here, and indeed, it was so delicious. I wished to eat every fish in the restaurant's tank. Fish so fresh it still wriggles in the mouth. Now that's a Port City specialty. What's that look about? You don't find it appetizing? Ismay?
My apologies.
I have a favor to ask of you. Would you mind lending me any unused blankets? What will you use them for? For defense, you understand. Just in case, otherwise, while I'm sleeping, I'd be unprotected against apologies. Against bugs. I want no contact with them whatsoever, awake or asleep, so I thought I might bundle myself in blankets at night. Yes, I know this place is warm as it is. Yes, I'm prepared for inevitable night sweats. Nevertheless, I'd be grateful to have any spare blankets. Well, we'll definitely give you any of those, although they might be ridden in bugs. Hope that's alright. Anyway, let us go to bed.
Look at that.
I'm done for the day. Should I retire for the night? Yeah.
Good night.
Rest well.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
The man's sloshed. Again.
What happened to waiting for our guests? You utter buffoon! Is this why you volunteered to stay behind?
Seems like Joanna and Forden aren't here yet.
Oh, I feared this might happen. And we've no other head to offer the judges. 'Tis a precarious position.
They'll come.
No. They'll come.
Bah! I'm going to splash some water on my face.
What?
My sincerest apologies. I wasn't expecting anyone to come in. You see...
How did you come to be here? Explain yourself!
Is something the matter, Forden?
They were here the whole time?
I'm so terribly sorry. We heard the Gauntlet Runner had a washroom, so we thought we'd freshen up a bit. I bathed first and was resting in the back room, contemplating my final day as a Sanctoress.
Sir Nuris over there very decently let us in to wash up.
I couldn't stand it, old thing. Her heart would bring any right-thinking man to tears. Could have run like a bally thief in the night, but here she is, washing away her sins.
Nuris, she killed tons of people. She murdered tons of children. She fed them to a giant baby monster. You can't be sad about her story here. I mean, you can be sad about how it got to there, but like, her washing away her sins. No, I'm afraid it will take more than just one shower.
It was more than a chap could bear, I say. Needed a drop of the grape and grain just to get myself through it.
The bottle's barely any emptier. Was a drop really all it took to get you drunk?
Oh, please do not blame the poor man. Talking to him has eased my heart for the trials to come. I cannot let myself betray you and regress to my vile delusions. I only sought to atone with myself before my sins are duly punished.
I understand. Thank you for coming. Then, as we agreed, please confess before the crowd when the time comes. To be honest, I'm hesitant to turn you in now you've genuinely decided to repent. I mean, we're hardly icons of virtue ourselves.
Stroll! Do you know how many people she killed? Did you go around the town speaking to all the people and it's like, oh, where's my child? My child was never coming back. That's what she did. That was her conscious choice to feed them to a large baby monster. There's a sad story behind it, but she did it. We can't be like, no, we're gonna let her go. No, we're not gonna let her go. It's just not the way it's gonna work here. I'm getting radicalized against her here by the game. They're trying to convince me that we should have let her go.
In fairness, you're a woman of status, and it'll be a big crowd. We're not looking to instigate a public stoning here. You can explain yourself freely, in your own words. We can't ask anything more than that.
I don't think a public stoning is necessarily out of the question. I think that would not necessarily be out of proportion.
Thank you. Truly, I've felt so much more at peace since last we spoke. The fog has only cleared further, giving me clarity of purpose.
The fog, huh?
Thank you for everything. I do hope you win the throne.
Are they going to say it's magic and that's the reason why she did it? It's like the melancholy of fell over her brain and caused her to do this? I mean, they might do that. But currently it's like, if somebody's child died and then they found a crocodile and they went, this crocodile is going to be my child, and then they would kidnap other children and feed them to the crocodile. If eventually you stop this happening, you would be like, the person feeding the crocodile is quite clearly like in the wrong here. they at very least deserve some level of punishment for that action. Right? You would say. So I don't see the difference between that and this situation. Anyway. I intend to.
Yes, I intend to. Whoever the crown goes to, we're at least going to make sure it isn't used for evil.
At last, it seems our preparations are set. We need only trust that our plans will bear fruit.
Okay.
Thank you all for waiting. The very first round of the tournament for the throne, the exhibition of the brave, is about to begin. Our monarchs-to-be will now present to the people the heads they seized to demonstrate their power as worthy of the throne. At a later date, when the second round is announced, the faces on the King's Rock, that is to say, the candidates with the top 20 approval ratings, will pass the first round.
20? 'Tis a great many eliminations in but one round.
I was hoping we'd at least make it through the first, but it might not be that simple.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes to the lineup of all the gorgeous faces at the judges' table, starting with His and Her Highnesses of Oceania and Montario.
Oh, we get to find out who people are.
Oh, it's her ladyship. Lord Montario's here too, eh? And the armor on that fellow over there? A general, is he?
Okay, so Lady of Oceania must be the one on the left. And then the one 2 in from her must be Montario. And then next to them are their advisors, we're assuming? Like, one's a general and one's, I'm guessing, a merchant?
And of course, we have the one, the only, the people's favorite, our guest from the Sanctus Church, better known as the Miracle Saint, healer of all ills, presenting the lovely Lady Rella Cygnus!
Saint? Who's this? Someone fill me in. I've been literally living in a hole.
A brilliant healer. We've met, though a long time ago. Even as a student, she was already considered the kingdom's best in her field.
Looks like the crowd's on your side, milady. Can you give us a few words about what's on your mind as you take on the judge's mantle?
Well, I'm afraid you've rather got me on the spot. Hello, all. This city sure has, great seafood. And, well, sea creatures. Fascinating, aren't they? There's so much we still don't know about them. Oh, I did hear about a legend of some monster in the eastern seas of Oceania. Imagine, the mind races. I'm hoping I can investigate those sightings while I'm here.
That's just great, Lady Rella. I'll just stop you there, clock's ticking and all that. But we're thrilled you're enjoying your stay.
Sometimes I can hardly believe you're my sister. Still not much of a public speaker, are you?
Interesting. Her sister? Is she not a Nadia? Like, Juna's a Nadia, but that is quite clearly a Nishkaya. How can they be sisters? Unless both of them are half-breeds. Interesting. Or one of them's a half-breed, I suppose, would be the other answer. Anyway, carry on. As in, like, it could be one is a pure Nadia, and then the other one's like Nadia Ishkaya, and maybe it just doesn't look that different, and you can pass? I don't know.
So she's a saint?
Well, she seems like a nice enough lady.
We'd better stop worrying about her and focus on ourselves. I don't see Luis anywhere, but I bet he's got eyes in the crowd.
Now, the time has come. Let the exhibition of the brave begin! First up is a respected gentleman of the church, Guido, the head of the monk soldiers of the Crown Theocracy.
I've no taste for needless killing. Therefore, I chose a mark with meat, abundant and edible. After the judging, it will be served in a banquet for the poor.
A stand-up fellow, my good people! Strength and compassion in one package! He's got the crowd on his side right from the start!
Okay, that's a good way to do this. However, it's not that big a head.
Now, is there anyone who can top this?
I can.
And we have a challenger! Second in line is the church's direct opposition, the spearhead of Count Luis's supporters, Gladel the Black Hound!
One look at the head and I know what you're thinking. Bit small, isn't it? Well, I can bloody well tell you I'm not like this smarmy git who fished up his dinner. I'll tell you what this is. Behold, the head of a hideous human!
Yeah.
Where's your proof?
Not that big, though.
Yes, the young sod's right. How do we know that's really a human?
What drivel? Look at the thing! You think a normal beast could have a face like this?
Probably just made the damn thing yourself.
Oh, useless as ever. Did it never occur to him that the average citizen has never seen a human?
Now, everyone, let's have a little composure, please. Candidate Gladel, we're very much obliged. You may step down. Now, on to the next.
Oh, wow.
The size of that thing. Is that the monster of the Eastern Sea?
Someone took the beastie down. Who did the deed?
I'd heard tell of a monster tormenting the people of this beautiful port city. I could do no less than grant them respite from their suffering. Such is the duty of those with power.
Who expected anything less? His Eminence Forden is simply in another class. Suddenly the critics have all gone quiet. All I hear is gratitude.
Forden's trophy is more impressive than I expected. How are we going to make a stronger impression than that?
It's fine.
It'll be fine. If he'd gone after us, the reaction would mean we'd have been written off no matter what we presented. Let's count ourselves lucky and trust in our strategy.
Now, no dirty looks, you lot. Next is the Pagan Assassin's Prize. Let's see what head we've got now. Thank you, Candidate Julian, for that helpful, exhaustive, and I think exhausting explanation. Whew. Now, we've had quite a succession up here, but our last is coming up now. This should wrap up our show.
Atlin is rigging this thing in our favor, and I love it. Basically, what he's done is he's went, oh, I'm back in the Elder. What position would give the most impact? The last position, right? Either first or last. You gotta either have a good first impression and then be remembered throughout the thing, or be the absolute last thing that people see. So he's gone, we're the last one. He's counting on us to deliver. Let's see if we can.
Now, if the last candidate, the Elden Boy, would please join us on the stage.
Where's their head?
Your pardon, madam, but would you happen to be the Lady of Martyra? Joanna, the Sanctoress?
Indeed. The head they've brought is mine.
The impudence. You dare offer an honored lady of the church before these judges? This is not to be borne.
I've got something to say to you too. That you chief there. Isn't that Heismay? The same damn criminal you were supposed to be chasing?
That's the infamous Heismay. The you chief of all things.
This. After we saved your hide on the road.
Silence! He may be a former knight, but now he's a heinous criminal who stooped to kidnapping. Anyone who claims themselves his ally should be disqualified on the spot.
Please, wait. I have something I must confess to you all. You speak of the kidnappings that terrorized my home, Martyra. I am here to confess that the true culprit behind those atrocities was me. I was the caretaker of a hideous human in the basement of my castle. And to feed it, I abducted the innocent people of my own city.
What? Absurd! Speak sense, woman!
Master Heismay is innocent in all this. He was framed for crimes performed by my hand and in my name.
And I, Forden, captain of Martyra's Guard Corps, stand to vouch for all that she said.
Just so. It was this young candidate who killed that human, cleared me of the false charges, and dispelled the shadow over Martyra.
Thus, here I stand. My head is his to offer.
That's... well, that's quite a turn of events. We have our head, ladies and gentlemen, and it's unlike any we've seen yet.
How is this believable? She's an imposter. She's got to be.
Of course. That, or they're putting words in the poor woman's mouth. A Sanctoress would never.
What will His Eminence Forden do?
The Honorable Master Godot should know whether I and my words can be trusted.
'Tis true to the last word, isn't it?
Yes, Your Eminence. Without question.
Young candidate, you have done well to bring about her repentance. Now, justice must be rendered.
What? Right here and now? Your Eminence, a moment!
Stroll, what are you doing here?
Thank you for your concern. But I have no objections. For a sinner like me, to confess the truth to the people has already been more than I deserve. O new king, it is my hope that you will rid the world of its twisted prejudices and common cruelties. Please, lead this country armed with the truth.
I will do my best.
I will do my best.
Well, folks, sometimes that's just how the curtain falls. If Sanctifex Forden turned in the biggest head, then our dark horse here has certainly turned in the heaviest. What an upset, ladies and gents! Who could see this coming?
Those crazy kids have done it again. What a show!
Oh, we're up to 49 from 64? Wow, we've jumped up. Also, I've got to say, Batlin is continuing to rig it in our favor. Consistently, he's like, yup, time to just turn it up another notch. Let's just, you know, say that it was a big upset. Let's sell the people on what we've given. Anyway, after the events of the exhibition, many people seem to have taken notice of me. I hope this eventually leads to saving the prince. Evening.
Forden just departed, wishing everyone well. I suppose he aims to reach Martira before Joanna's confession does.
And Forden himself. I hardly expected the man to make himself so visible.
Likely his attempt at redirection. Keeps the blame from falling on him and the church. Can't say it didn't work, I suppose. I'm certainly not blameless in this either. It was my suggestion to make an impression by foregoing the pursuit of a monster's head in favor of a person's.
I guess, but...
Nevertheless, the Lady Joanna entrusted her final wishes to us, and we mustn't betray them. That's all we can do, really.
Not bad, pups.
I'll say though, she was like a murderer, like a fairly efficient murderer. She had a whole operation for murdering. She wasn't just like a random killer. She wasn't a serial killer necessarily. She was a factory. She had made a factory for feeding this human. There was a whole process. There was a capturing. There was the keeping them in the cages until the right time to release them. There was the feeding the other monsters to make sure that there was more down there. Like she had the whole thing ready. She had a whole operation. She had tons of people involved. It's like, okay. I mean, you know, she did have some sort of justice kind of coming to her. I don't really get the sadness over the outcome. I get that it's the story is sad and it parallels Heiseme's, but I mean, Heisme had the same thing happen and he didn't set up a like mass murder you know, operation. It is possible.
We were passing on the course of a human hunt. You gave a most distinctive showing.
I suppose you're worth introducing ourselves to. I'm Fidelio, that's Basilio. Luis's right-hand men, see?
And now you walk with a Ujif at your side. Each ally of a different tribe. Fascinating.
Better to have dependable friends than familiar ones. Something we've got in common.
Not only did you expose a failing of the Sanctus Church, but you dared to bring her alive so Forden himself could do the grisly part before all his flock.
That was not our intent.
Oh, same idea, yeah? A real person's head gets more eyes on you than some decapitated beast. And now, you're the names on everyone's lips, aren't you?
Well, we only righted a wrong.
No. We only righted a wrong.
And you weren't afraid to make an enemy of the Church to do it. It's quite a feat for a no-name candidate to so deftly rub Forden's face in the dirt. A wake-up call, I'm sure, for those who only know his honeyed words.
Oh, Lord Luis, we really should be going.
Relax. They're in the middle of a conversation.
I like a show of strength as much as the next girl, but I do so hate violent spectacles. A view from the sky sounds so much more enchanting, don't you think?
So this is what's become of Luis. There was something eerie to him even as a lad, but I'd never expected him to reach such heights.
Do you suppose we have his attention?
Last time he told us we had to demonstrate our power first. I'd like to think that if he went out of his way to talk to us, that's something we earned.
Oh, loves, I've got a message from Count Luis. He says he'll be sending a messenger along soon, so stay in the city, would you? And I have to say, I might not want to let you out of my sight either.
Oh? All right then.
Master Luis was just here. What happened?
Well, he just left. You weren't told?
We'd better be getting back as well.
Damn it. What's so special about those fools?
Now, it's the night.
Luis is having a go for Popeye, eh? Are you officially all flunkies in arms now, then?
It's not a done deal.
It's not a done deal.
Still, it is a significant step forward. We've crossed a dangerous bridge, and the risk paid off.
Although what's really interesting is that the initial plan was to get close to Luis so we can find out how to cure the prince. But now, and that was the only reason we were joining the tournament. But now we're also like, well, we could also just win the tournament as well, couldn't we? It's kind of crazy. I guess we're winning it in the name of the prince, but still, it's interesting how quickly our priorities are shifting, and we're forgetting the original purpose. Anyway, carry on.
We have finally taken the first step in saving His Highness the Prince. If we can get the formula, then we yet have a chance of lifting the curse.
How fares His Highness anyway? He still fights?
I took a look in the Farsight mirror a while ago. He's still asleep. But nothing's changed about his condition.
And do we know where this formula is?
No, but he's bound to keep it somewhere secret if it's evidence linking him to the assassination. Still, a formula would be useless unless it's within arm's reach for emergencies.
If it's something he'd keep close, then...
It's engraved on his body? That would be crazy, I want to say it.
Maybe he's engraved it directly on his body.
So the only way we can find out how to save the prince is to sleep with Luis so that we can see his body. Yes, it all makes sense now.
Yeah, somehow I doubt he'd literally carve incriminating evidence onto his skin. It'd be backwards in a mirror besides. It's more likely to be in his runner.
Do you really suppose it would be in the runner he uses even today? The incident was near a decade ago.
It's as good a chance as any. Getting inside would be a pain for anyone else, including us.
He said he would send a messenger. Perhaps it would be wise to wait until we've heard his missive.
Good point. Let's just wait for word then.
And now, it's late night.
Joanna! A backwater sanctuarist denies me my moment of triumph! She defiles the very church itself. Oh, and naturally it was an elder of all people who stood her before me. Will that benighted tribe never stop dogging my heels?
Now that is interesting what he said there. The way that he's phrased the sentence, will that benighted tribe never stop dogging my heels? So, this is more than the church. This means that Forden himself was involved with dealing with Elda. Now that's interesting. That means that he has a personal connection to it. What that is, I don't know, but it's beyond just it being a thing that the church has outlawed years ago.
An idea occurs, Your Eminence. For the tournament's next challenge, let us center the competition on a show of piety. Make them prove their Sanctus faith. After all, Sanctism is the state religion. It would be the barest of leaps to suggest that loyalty to the church is loyalty to the state.
I assume you have a plan?
Altaberry is our next destination. The very seat of the faith outside the capital. I thought we might propose another hunt. This time for relics.
Ah, the so-called divine relics. Those false idols the pagans consider relics of their gods.
What need does the world have for gods beyond ours? Soon, they will talk of nothing but how to win the Sanctus Church's favor. Your Eminence's influence would be sure to reach even greater heights.
And in the pagan lands, the greedier candidates will plunder and pillage for idols as they see fit. Fine footholds for our missionaries, all without getting our hands dirty. The collection of divine relics should be a spectacle held on Saint's Day. Our divine right will be undeniable. Once I take the throne, I will re-establish that these relics originally belonged to the Sanctus Church, and that they were ransacked from us in the course of history.
Your Eminence, on that day, I should be grateful to be honored with a proper title.
Say no more. A concession only fair for the right hand of the Sanctifex.
Ever at your service. You do not bow your head.
Oh, humblest apologies.
What troubles you, my child?
Well, my concern would be about the risks involved. Some theories suggest even the royal scepter was originally one of these relics. In the unlikely event that a divine relic were to be found to nullify the king's magic...
Somebody could manage to kill one of the candidates.
If such a relic existed, it would have been found long ago. You burden yourself with such fears. All you need to do is be a good saint. Smile, wave, and bless.
Rella, you are to return to the royal capital and gather the people under my banner.
Understood.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Hello? A word. Some odd blighter left a letter for you last night. Said he was Louis's man. Nightprowler, today, come. Bit curt if I'm honest, hardly diplomatic. Seems like this Nightprowler place is some sort of pub or club. But do you know where it is?
I do, because we've seen it.
On the city's outskirts. Seemed fairly dingy to my eyes. I can't imagine Louis at a haunt like that.
You think it's a trap? Maybe he's caught on to us?
If he wanted to trap us, I doubt he would make it so obvious. Though that doesn't guarantee our safety there, of course.
We have little other option but to show up.
I'll hang about in the runner. Keep myself busy with tinkering. Let me know if you talk yourself onto Louis's craft, eh?
Right then. Let's be off to this Nightprowler.
It's now afternoon and it's stormy. The Nightprowler, huh?
Let's hurry.
The place should be on the edge of town, I've heard. Ferryman should know how to get there.
Oi there!
Before we do though, this is where we're going to end the episode for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.